Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to YouTube. We are one day out now from the Dallas Europa, and I'm going to take you through my whole day of drying out, carbon up, step by step for it last night. And I want to put this disclaimer out, and by no means am I a doctor or giving recommendations for pharmaceutical use. I did want to bring up my diuretic that I use. I do have a prescription from a doctor and having medical supervision for it, so that's the only reason that I'm giving out what exactly I'm doing. So last night I took a quarter tab of 37.5, 25 milligram diazide, and so that helped me expel some more water, and I should have had a pretty big weight drop to where I can eat more today than I was yesterday, and also keep my fluids in for when I make weight. So I'm going to see what my weight is. Alright, so last night before bed I was 214, so now I'm 207. Yesterday morning I was 208.6, so it pulled me down, an extra 2 pounds roughly. 7 pounds total loss overnight. So yesterday I went from 209 to 214, so I gained about 5 pounds of weight, which this puts me just perfect. So I could eat and drink, and I should hit 212 right in the money, and I won't be having to change my cutting fluids or even reducing carbs or anything down. So the plan for the day is just to go meal by meal. I have planned out my diet, and I'm doing about 50 grams of carbs with each meal. I lowered my protein down because at this point, protein, it's not going to be a huge factor how much I'm holding muscle today because I have enough carbohydrates. So I lowered my protein from 6 to 4.5 ounces. And then I lowered my veggies a little bit too to save just actual food weight, and I will have fats in all the meals, doing like about 10 grams of fat in all meals. And going to do some more frequent meals too. So I'm trying to get 7 meals in a day, totaling 370 grams of carbs, 220 grams of protein, and about 75 grams of fat. I'm basing this carb number off what I've done in the past for my refeed meals, so that's where it's coming from. I'm going to assess after every meal what my weight is and adjust fluids. So I'm planning to do 6 ounces of water with meals and 30 ounces between. If I start getting close to weigh-ins and I notice my weight's getting up too high, then I'll adjust back from there. All right, guys. So we'll go on. I'm gonna go on to meal 1, get that in, and you'll come along with me, and we'll just go meal by meal. All right. So meal 1, I'm doing 30 grams of protein from whey, isolate. 60 grams of oats, 24 grams of peanut butter. I'm doing my cinnamon, Splenda, and a little bit of sea salt, and then 1 rice cake on the side. So this will start up the day. I am measuring out the water, so having 12 ounces of water with this meal. It's including cooking and anything to drink with too. And then between the meal, I'm starting with 30 ounces, and I'll take pictures, and then 30 minutes before the next meal, I'll weigh myself and see what kind of adjustments I need to make from there. All right, guys, I'm on to meal 2. So it was about an hour ago. I weighed 208.6, so my weight's come up 1.6 pounds, which is good. I'm still right on track, under 212. So for meal 2, I'm doing 4.5 ounces of chicken. I'm gonna do 140 grams of white jasmine rice, 50 grams of banana, 50 grams of spinach, and then 20 grams of cashew butter, and then I'll use my just cinnamon, Splenda, and some salt. And I'll have 6 ounces of water with this meal, and then still do 30 ounces between, and weigh myself after the meal, and just go from there. No more diuretics for right now because my weight's still good. Okay, so it's about 11:30 right now. My last meal I had, it didn't bring my weight up any. My weight actually dropped, so I went from 208.6 to 208.2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have another 60 grams of carbohydrates. Gonna do 140 grams of rice, 50 grams of banana, 20 grams of almond butter, add some fats as well. Then I'll still have my next scheduled meal at 1 p.m. and see what that does for my weight. All right, guys, so I'm now on to meal 3, and that last little snack that I added in, it actually did bring my weight up. and bringing my water up to 40 ounces between meals. So now I was 210.2. So put me up about 2 pounds. So that's a really good spot to be at. If I can just kind of hold this before weigh-ins, that's ideal. So I'm just gonna keep the water at 40 and go on with the other meals as I have laid out and planned, which it's, you know, still about 30 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs a meal, and 10 grams of fat. So I'm gonna get to that meal, and then I'm gonna head over to tanning and take my water with me and go from there. I am gonna go ahead, it's 1 p.m., so I'm gonna go ahead and take another quarter tab of Diazide, because I do think I need to keep it in place so I can keep pushing out some fluid and drying out, but I think I'll be able to keep my food higher, my water higher, and still get a fuller look. So that's the plan for now. Let's go on to tanning. All right guys, it's 3:30 right now. I'm on to meal number 4. Just got back from tanning. So I'm close to weigh-ins, got an hour and a half to go. I just got on the scale, I was 211.2, so my weight's coming up with adding the extra water in. So I just need to kind of really hold right here and be close and just not go over 212. So I have 0.8 pounds to play with, so I'm just gonna have my meal and make sure it's under that weight. And for water, I'll just keep watching my weight. If I pee, then I'll have some water, but if not, I'll just do sips until I weigh in, and then push more food after. I did bring down my protein just a little bit for food weight, so I could do more carbohydrates. When we reintroduce water, I'll be able to fill out more that way. So get this down, then we'll go in weigh-ins and be maybe right on the dot. All right guys, just got done weighing in at the convention center. Was at 211.2, so made weight, success. So now get back some fluids immediately when we got 30 ounces of fluids down, and going into my next meal. So it's gonna be a little bit higher in calories, doing 240 grams of rice, 4 ounces of chicken, 50 grams of spinach, and 20 grams of almond butter. And then I'm also having an old-fashioned donut too. And I got it from Whole Foods, and it's like 60 grams of carbohydrates and 15 grams of fat. So I wanted something a little bit denser that was gonna stick with me a little bit more. But the big thing for this evening is gonna be putting more fluids down. That's what's really bringing my weight up and filling me out. So we'll keep going tonight, watching my pictures, watching my weight. Probably later on, I'm gonna take another quarter tab of Diazide. I want to tell you, with these diuretics, you know, a lot of people use them incorrectly, and you know, doing the least is the best, and a lot of times you do not need to be using them. If you're really conditioned, there should be minimal that you do. So if, you know, usually you don't need to remove water, you shouldn't be nibbling sodium, and for me, I just use a little bit, and that pushes out sodium, which carries water out, which brings me a little bit tighter, but it's very minimal that I'm doing. So please, you know, if you're cutting your water, you're cutting your sodium, and you're taking diuretics, extremely dangerous. I would never recommend doing something like that, but we'll keep going guys, get some more meals in, fill out, see how we look. All right, so I'm on to meal number 5 now. I'm still, like, when I'm looking at my pictures, everything's starting to fill out well, but I feel like my shoulders and my chest, it's not quite full, and still being around 212, I'm gonna push food harder. So this next meal is gonna be 240 grams of rice, 4.5 ounces of chicken, 20 grams of cashew butter, 50 grams of spinach. Then I also have a muffin that I'm gonna add to it, which it's a pretty large muffin, so it's probably close to 70 grams, 80 grams of carbs with easily 20 to 30 grams of fat. So it's definitely gonna be more calorie dense and something that's gonna stick with me longer. Having this meal and keeping my water high, I should really fill out off this and start bringing my weight up more than what it has been. I'll probably still stick with the 40 ounces of water, and then, you know, about an hour to 90 minutes after, I'll see what my weight's at, look at my pictures, and judge from there what I want to do with the last meal. All right guys, down to my last meal. This is meal 7 for the day. What I decided to do, I did have some rice planned out, but I've been thinking about it, and I do have these big drops overnight. Last night was like 7 pounds, and I don't want that to happen. I really want to hold a lot of fullness. So I'm still gonna do my 4.5 ounces of chicken, my spinach, but instead of the rice and almond butter, I'm just gonna do It's probably about 10 or 12 ounces of just French fries. Good amount of carb, quite a bit of fat though, and salt. So the salt will help keep some of the water from dropping off, but also it's mainly the fats. So the fats are going to stick with me longer, digest slower, be more calorie dense meal, so I shouldn't have such a big drop overnight and keep some of this fullness that I've maintained throughout the day. This will be it. This will be my last meal, guys. I hope you enjoyed following along for my one day out and learned something about the process and what I'm thinking along the way and how we're doing things. So if you have questions, leave them below. I'm also going to put this full diet, everything from the water, how I laid it out, the diuretics, in my blog. So you can click that link below and you can see the whole thing. I have my weights, what was changing, and you can see why I increased it at certain times. So check that out. If you're interested in coaching, you also have that available on my website too. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for show day.